So this video, I'm gonna see what he says on this part, because this part a lot of dudes be struggling with, and they don't really understand what more attractive even means. So we're definitely gonna see what he says, and we're gonna add our 2 cents onto it. But brother, I hope the video is good, and good luck.
Have you ever met someone who just pulls you in, who you're addicted to? There's something about them that just glows. Something that just sticks with you. That's called charisma. And in dating today, it is the real cheat code. It's not about being the funniest or the hottest. It's about creating a feeling. The kind of feeling that makes someone want to know you.
That is mad true.
Or better yet, be known by you.
Charisma can be broken down so many different ways, but charisma as a whole is it's the act of drawing others in by using words to make them more interested in your character. That's basically what charisma is.
This matters more than ever, because dating in 2025 is exhausting. And no, this isn't just be confident or smile more kind of advice. This advice pulls from psychology, philosophy, and the actual science behind why we fall for the people we fall for. From the charisma myth to the art of loving, all the way to something that Abraham Lincoln did at dinner to get people more obsessed with him.
Okay.
So I'm going to walk you through 5 steps that build on each other one by one until you're not just more attractive, you're unforgettable.
Okay. I might learn something from this video.
Let's start with step 1.
Yeah.
Aliveness. Real charisma, real presence isn't cold, it isn't flat, and it isn't nonchalant. It's not, I don't care if you're here or not energy. That's not charisma, that's a defense mechanism. We confuse chill with confidence. But the
or you're messing up already. For those who like acts cold to people, because I'm one of those people. I tend to act alive sometimes, but for the most part, as an individual, I tend to be cold to other people. I can't lie. I see it now. I'm not a very loving or very aliveness person, as he said. Like for a lot of people, I don't show very much emotion, which makes it harder for them to read me. But at the same time, it's like it's a part of my character, and people can't change that aspect of me. So I'm not going to change my character just because it makes more people like me. No, I'm going to be myself, and that's just the way it is. But like, yeah, this part is
most magnetic people, they don't hide their energy. They own it.
But see, it's not really hiding your energy either, because it's not like they think about being distant or being cold. It's just evolved into being like that. They're suppressing that part of themselves without even realizing it. They're not doing it on purpose, but yet that is what draws people closer into them, because they don't even realize they're doing it themselves.
Fox Cabernet in the charisma myth talks about how charisma is made of power, presence, and warmth. Being nonchalant tries
power, presence, and warmth.
To fake this presence by pretending not to care. But real presence is when someone looks at you like they actually see something. When they laugh without holding it in. When they can actually feel that they're with you, not watching themselves perform coolness in front of a third person. If you want to be more magnetic, let your reactions land. Show that you're affected. Drink deeply from the chalice of life. I mean, be here in the moment with someone. Show your emotion. Speak like you mean what you're saying, not like you're above it. Because in 2025, when everyone is trying to be emotionally unavailable or nonchalant or chill, being emotionally available is a power move. Step 2.
All right, look, as people, and especially as dudes, y'all can't just be like, change your personality as a whole, bro. You got to work with what you got. If you're an emotionally distant person, don't try to force things that aren't coming out naturally, bro. He said don't try to act nonchalant. Some dudes don't be acting nonchalant, but they come off as nonchalant. Like, you can't hide who you truly are. You're just going to have to work with it. If you feel like you want to laugh, laugh. If you feel like you don't have a reaction, don't have a reaction. You can't be forcing things. People don't like things that are forced, things that seem like they're not natural. Just don't do that. Just be yourself. Seriously. That's literally most of this charisma thing. Like, it's not any 5 steps. It's just be yourself. But we're going to see what else he says.
2, curiosity as seduction. What subject matter are people most interested in? It's not cars or money or power.
It's what they don't know.
It's themselves. Here's the thing. We're most interested in people who take interest in us. And no, I don't mean the basic, what do you do kind of curiosity. I'm talking about the genuine kind of wonder that makes people truly fascinating. Eric Fromm in The Art of Loving argues that real love and by extension, real attraction, comes when you take time to explore another person's story. For practical tips, instead of asking typical small talk questions, get better at asking genuinely interesting questions like, what made you do that? Or how did that make you feel? People light up when they're actually truly seen.
All right, let me go on that, bro. So bro said the most interesting thing people like is themselves, which is true. But for charisma, I don't even think that matters. He said, what did he say at the beginning? He said, seem like you're interested in what they're saying or stuff like that. You don't have to act like you're interested in what they're saying if you're not interested in what they're saying. People tend to be more curious about things they don't understand, things they want to know more about. So if you kind of create that gap without people necessarily thinking you're trying to create that gap, or you don't even have to try that yourself, people tend to be a lot more interested in what you have to say because you're leaving room for curiosity to build. Instead of just constantly filling in space with empty words or words that don't mean anything, you have to take the time to take gaps. You have to take the time to understand and to think about your words before you say them. Leave empty space. Leave room for people to get curious about you. That's the second part for me, bro. But okay.
3. Resonance, or a nervous system sync.
What is that?
This isn't just poetic talk. This is actually backed by science.
Go ahead, yeah.
Have you ever heard of mirror neurons? They're the part of your brain that light up when you see someone experiencing an emotion. It's kind of when you feel that click in a great conversation.
You mean empathy?
Now think about it. When you're in sync with someone, your laughter, your pace, your tone, all harmonize.
Yeah.
It creates a vibe that's almost magnetic.
Damn.
Instead of mimicking someone, subtly mirror their energy. Adjust your tone, nod when they speak, and let your body language say, I'm with you. That is genuine resonance.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that for sure. That is something that you also can use to see if someone's interested in you as well. Like, let's say you're having a conversation with a girl and she has a different way of speaking than you. If you realize in a conversation that she's picking up subtle ways of speaking that she doesn't normally use and that you're using, like if she has a certain word she's using or a certain phrase or way of speaking, a formula of speaking that she doesn't use normally, but you use all the time, that's a good way to tell that she actually is interested in your character and she actually is interested in you as a person. And it goes with everyone else. Like when you're a kid and you watch a TV show, y'all don't realize how like you pick up subtle details from that character that you like. Like back when I was younger, I used to like watching Pokemon X, Y, and Z, and how Ash used to like tap his foot on the ground. I used to do that stuff too. And it's because I was so interested in his character that I started picking up subtle details that I saw him doing throughout the show because I actually resonated with him as a character. And it's the same thing with people. You can tell a lot about a person from what they don't say rather than what they do say.
Step 4, reflection, or beauty transfer. Now here's a weird story that you might love. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the story was life-changing. Picture this. You're having dinner with a guy named John, and you leave dinner thinking, wow, that guy is a genius. I mean, he's a genius. Then you dine with Abraham Lincoln, and you finish dinner with him, and you leave thinking, I'm a genius. I'm an actual genius. That's not just flattery. That's the art of reflection. When you reflect someone's inner beauty back at them, you elevate them. They start to see themselves in a more powerful and positive light. In other words, the more interested that you are, the more interesting you become. It's really the paradox at the heart of charisma. People don't remember what you said. They remember the way you made them feel. It's counterintuitive.
That's true.
You shine not by taking up space, but by reflecting back someone's own light, which makes you glow in the process.
All right, I don't have much to say on that, but yeah, he basically said it for me. The first part when he was talking, it didn't really make sense, but as he continues speaking, I can't really disagree with that. I really do agree with that. When you talk to somebody, you can't make it all about yourself because people care more about themselves than they do you. You got to think about that. And if you try to force people to care about you, it's not going to work. It's going to have the opposite effect. So instead of caring about yourself overly, you got to start listening and paying attention to what they're saying. And if you don't have interest, don't show interest. But if they actually make you think, dang, they're actually an interesting person, don't be afraid to show that and tell them that. You don't have to say it directly, but the way you handle it, it definitely can show somebody that you care. And that right there will make someone care more about you.
Step 5, the final step. Absurdity equals connection.
I ain't gonna lie, I can speak on this right now. Y'all know those famous influencers, those famous people that be doing the most absurd things that don't seem like they're the normal things that people do, but yet it resonates with you because it's like they're being so genuine. Like I just like it's just like an aura around them because they're being genuinely themselves, and you actually mess with that heavy. It's the absurdity of them as individuals that makes you like them even more. That's charisma all on its own. But it's like the absurdity that they're being unconventionally themselves that draws you to them, because it's like if they're being themselves and they're being able to get people to be interested in what they're saying just off of them being themselves and showing their true character and their true colors, it's almost like you want to be like them because they're doing something that you're too afraid to do or that you wish you could do. Like that energy alone, that energy of confidence, that energy of not really caring about being looked down upon for being yourself, that draws people to you. I didn't even have to listen to what he had to say.
Let's talk about
go ahead
what
and speak
might be
about
the
it, bro.
weirdest but most important step.
For sure.
Absurdity. Here's the thing no one tells you. The most charismatic people are a little absurd.
Weird.
They're weird.
Yeah.
They're not perfect.
I had to say it weird.
Smooth.
Yeah.
They say dumb stuff and they trip over their words.
No, for sure.
They laugh too loud at their own jokes.
Okay, you're calling me out, bro. That's not funny.
And somehow that's exactly what makes them magnetic. Because absurdity breaks the script. It cuts through the curated, the polished, and the boring. And it tells the person,
I need to watch
you're
La La
allowed
Land.
to be real with me. You're allowed to be real with me.
Cyberpunk?
Philosophically, this traces back to Albert Camus. He wrote about the absurd as this moment when you realize life has no inherent meaning. So you have a choice.
Yeah.
You can despair or you can laugh. Camus called that revolt. I think in conversation, it's called charisma. It's choosing to show up as your weirdest self and your most honest self, even if it doesn't land, even if it's awkward, even if someone looks at you like, huh? Because charisma isn't about being cool. It's about creating freedom. And the second that someone feels free around you, they start to fall for you. Not the ideal version of you, but the absurd one. I am releasing rings pretty soon. This is the video's over. I'm releasing something new, a ring that says XOXO. It's not merch, it's a membership to the Hopeless Romantic Club, to everyone still believing in real love.
I'm dead not getting this, bro. It's not the fact that this is a fire ring, I'm not gonna cap, but I understand that you get what you believe in the most, bro. Like if you believe that there's no such thing as true love, you're never gonna find it, bro. You gotta like honestly look at this. You look at the situation for what it is and say, okay, I could either accept it or I can continue fighting for what I want. And it's just like that with everything in life, bro. Even finding a good relationship. Bro, I can't even lie. Although I'm not in a relationship, I know there's still good women out there because I know a lot of good women. Granted, I probably should do something about that while I still have the chance, but I know a lot of good women out there. There's still such thing as good women, bro. Like, I don't know why dudes be saying there's no such thing, bro. Y'all, I don't know where y'all are looking for these women, bro. But, like, it'd be in the most random spots where you find these women, bro. Shy girls are especially one of them, bro. It depends on the shy girl, obviously, but shy girls tend to be... They have a higher rate of being good girls, bro. I ain't gonna cap.